All right, everybody, we'll have Coach here in just a second. I'll get started with questions from Kent, and then if anyone else has a question, if you could raise your hand, that would be great. Hey, Coach, how's it going? All right, we will get started. Oh, Simone, do you want to unmute her? There you go. We will get started with questions from Kent. Kent, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, I know a lot of factors go into this, but I find it interesting that in the 3 games since you dropped the point guard in who didn't know anything about your plays or playbook, you've had the highest offensive rating in the league. I thought the last game in particular, the ball movement was as good as it's been, in a while.
Yep.
How much of that is Clarendon's impact? What does that say about the meeting? How important it is that your point guard knows your playbook?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things at play. There's no question. Leisha has impacted us in a very positive way. Her ability to lead and organize, has been extremely helpful. But I also think there's been an evolution with regard to the team. And this is the part that we sort of knew about. We knew that coming out of the gates that offensively might be a little rough as we learn what are we good at, what are we not good at, how do we hone in on capitalizing on individual personnel. So I think there's 2 things at play. Crystal coming off the bench has been very good for us as well. So I think the combination of all those things, and I think last game in particular, playing off of our defense, gave us those, we were able to play out in transition and get, easier shots earlier in the offense, and shots went down. That's a big thing. I think both us and the opponent tonight in Washington are teams that are happy with their last 3 games offensively because the ball has gone in the hole a little bit more. Our spacing for both teams has been really good. Both teams have, interior presence that you have to worry about. And you also have the threats on the outside. So it's going to be a really interesting sort of test of wills, whose defense can knock, the other team off its stride.
Do you have an update on Demiris?
Demiris is probable. And barring anything in the warm-ups, Demiris should be able to go.
We'll go next question to Kareem. Kareem, go ahead.
Hey, Cheryl, quick question for you. I want to ask about Ariel Atkins. I know you've faced her plenty over the years, but when you watch your video of her now, I guess what stands out to you? What catches your eye?
Well, I just think what everybody says about Ariel. I only see her a couple times a year. But you can see maturity, that the opportunity to be a leader and more outspoken, just growing up, I think playing for Mike Tebow coach teams helps players like that, brings out the very best in his players. And I think Ariel has really benefited from his coaching, and she's just matured and, really, really tough player to play against at both ends.
Cool. Quick and easy for me. Thank you.
Yep.
We'll go next question to Danny. Danny, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Similarly, I was wondering if you could speak to limiting Tina Charles tonight and how important that's going to be to securing the win.
It's certainly important. This is a player that, obviously up there in scoring and, 20 field goal attempts a game. And but I think the challenge there is that if you put too much attention there, they're going to just, really make you pay from the 3-point line. Tina is smart enough to know that. If we spend time, putting multiple players out of position for her, she will make plays on the backside. She will hit divers, like Maisha Hines-Allen. They do a great job of always one high, one low. If Tina's low, Hines-Allen is going to be high. You turn your head for a second, she's going to be diving. So just playing, your offense through a post player like that is incredibly advantageous. So not only is it limiting, her offense, but how she impacts the entirety of the offense. Her usage is really, really high. So no question, it's a factor. I don't have a simple answer on how we're going to slow her. We do have Sylvia Faust, who's not talked about enough how good she is defensively. Hopefully that will come through. That will bear itself out for us tonight.
Thanks, Coach.
You're welcome.
We'll go next question to Jen Hatfield. Jen, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Jen Hatfield with the Next. Just curious, you guys scrimmaged the Mystics in the preseason, which must feel like ages ago, but, is that still helpful at all, or do you throw out that tape at this point?
Not at all. Not even a little bit helpful.
What
I think both coaches would tell you that.
What stands out as the biggest thing that's changed about them since the scrimmage?
The players that are on the floor for them now versus the ones that were on the floor back then. Very, very different. Very, very different.
And you mentioned, how both teams, yours and theirs, are probably pleased with how they've been playing offensively, but the difference is that, you guys have gotten on a little win streak and the Mystics are still kind of waiting to flip that switch. In your experience, when you have a team that's playing well but just hasn't flipped that switch, what's the hardest thing about getting over the hump?
I think Mike Tebow might have the best perspective of any coach in the league. He understands when his team played well, they just didn't win the game. You look at your schedule; those are you're playing against top teams in the league. He's the type; he's not going to panic. If you played well, you played well. You want to win, but if they keep playing as well as they have, they're going to be in position again to try to win a game. Connecticut, really, really good team. Obviously, Vegas, really difficult team to stop. That was a hell of a game offensively. Lots going on there. I think I don't want to coach Mike's team in any way. I just know how good he is and what great perspective he has, and far better perspective. I can hope to at some point have 1/10 of the perspective that he has about where his team is and what it needs next. And, he'll have them no doubt ready for this game tonight.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any last questions for Coach?
Thank
Alrighty,
you.
thank you, Coach. Good luck tonight.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
All right, everybody, that'll do it for pregame. I will get this uploaded to the folder and we will see you here postgame.
Thanks so much.
No problem, Danny.